Don't waste your time doing self-improvement when you could be building a life. So for 11 years, I watched self-improvement content. I first fell into it because of the dating content. Then I got into things such as, confidence building, building your personality, things like that later on down the line. But pretty much in the early days, I was usually optimizing for one sort of metric when I was doing self-improvement. So let me explain. I had a conversation with one of my friends. He's a videographer. He shoots videos and he's someone who's also been into personal development, reading books similar to myself. I remember one of the earliest self-improvement books I read was 50 Cent, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter, which sort of got me down the road of reading books like Robert Greene's Laws of Human Nature, 48 Laws of Power. And from there, it opened up the doors for many of the other self-improvement books that I started to read. And when I first got into it, I was always following one metric, as I mentioned earlier. So when I was watching dating content, I wanted a particular result from the dating content. These guys were telling me that I could pull these tens if I just learned to do the tricks, the tips, and the habits that they had in mind. And the reason this content was so interesting to me is because that one particular metric, such as improving your dating life, I truly believed if I could tick that one box, then all of my life would be sorted. You might be the same. You might be watching self-improvement, maybe not for dating content, but maybe for something like fitness. Maybe it's for looks maxing. Maybe it's for developing your personality, your charisma. You're trying to become the sort of person that you've always dreamed you can be. But typically when we get into self-improvement, there's one particular type of content that stands out for us. We believe that this type of content, if we can just overly become good at this, then everything else in our life is going to be sorted. And this is the same as me, right? You think that if you get into shape, 80 kg of pure muscle, then your dating life is going to be good. You're going to get promotion at your job. Your money is going to go up. You're going to be a fitness influencer. All of these different boxes you're going to tick and it's going to give you happiness. But any single time I did follow self-improvement simply for one metric, yes, eventually I would get good enough to the point that I got the sort of results that I always thought that I would get. But I'd always set the bar a little bit higher. Let's say there's a particular type of girl that I wanted to try date. Once I got her, then I would set the bar even higher. I want to go to the influencers on Instagram or whatever. But I would never get true happiness from this because what I was doing at that time was optimizing for the wrong metric. And this is why I said 11 years I wasted on self-improvement rather than building a life. See, the life you want isn't a result of what you do, what habits you're doing, what tips you're doing. The results you want in life is a result of who you become in this world. See, you can build on one particular metric and you will get the results of whatever you have in mind. If you really double down on it, if you really take it seriously, you will. But at the end of the day, in about 5 to 10 years' time, that metric will be so irrelevant to the current circumstances in your life. So when I got to my late 20s, now being 31, I started to question, what am I doing the personal development for? When I was having the conversation with the videographer I mentioned earlier, the conversation was a lot different. He was telling me that when he's trying to start up his business whilst balancing family life, the reason he does that is because he has a picture of the person he wants to become. The version of him he wants to become is the sort of person that can manage his family, build a business, and not crumble under stress. So whenever he's on a shoot and things are not going his way, rather than panicking, he treats this as an exercise to become more resilient because the person he wants to become is a more resilient person. And this is the same as how I look at personal development now. Rather than looking at it like I want to be a certain metric like 80 kg of pure muscle, have a dating life of 5 women texting me all the time, I look at it as who is the person I want to become. And I use it as a journey of extracting different lessons through putting myself through different challenges. For example, with this video content that I'm making, I have to learn things like editing. I have to learn about speaking to the camera. I have to learn about learning to create one topic and follow that topic all the way till the end. This is a skill, communication. The skill of being able to actually create a creative idea and have it as something valuable to the audience. I actually enjoy doing this. I enjoy making these videos more than I enjoyed going out to the gym, trying to get to a certain weight in order so that I could fit into my clothes in a certain way. I enjoy this more than going out to the clubs, trying to talk to women because I wanted to get a certain number of girls as girlfriends. because I know that what I'm doing right now is going to make me become the sort of person that I dream of being. And I believe that if you're going to be doing self-improvement, this is bigger than just working on one side. It's bigger than just working on one metric. You need to start building your life for the person that you actually want to become. I want you guys to think of your parents, if you've had parents. If you didn't have parents, some sort of guardian that basically you grew up with. Ideally, if you're a man, a male figure. If you're a woman, a female figure or whatever. But mostly men watch this. So let's go for like something like a father for the sake of this analogy. You might be in a point in your life, maybe you're in your early 20s, and you know what? You're saying, Tino, I just want to go for basically getting myself in the best physique, getting myself the best jawline, the most amount of money, and basically become this super alpha, whatever idea of like the masculine man is in your head. And you know what? I would say to you, go for it. Absolutely do go for it. But I want you to think of something like your father. If you came home one day, young man, and you saw your father flexing his biceps in the mirror, and all he spoke about is how he's, 80 kg of pure muscle, he's got a six-pack, he's ripped, what would your perception of that man be? That's all he spoke about. This one metric that he's filled out in his life. Is that what you would look at to basically look up to him? Or do you respect a man based off of his ability to take care of other people, his character, who he's become in the world, how he's able to control himself in situations where the pressure is on? If you're very, very honest with yourself, you'll realize that the character is what you respect about a man more. If you walk into a room and you see a boss and he's responsible for multiple different people, both weak and strong, and they all look up to him, and he never shows signs of weakness, or even when he does show signs of weakness, he's honest about it. He's got humility. He doesn't insult other people or look down to them. He respects them. You see where I'm going with this? The character of that person is what you respect. And you can build your character through self-improvement rather than just focusing on one metric. Because when you look at it long term, when you get into your 40s, 50s, 60s, these are the things that people are going to look to and admire about you. It's not going to be a six-pack. That's no longer going to be important, not even to the women you're dating. Yes, it's going to be good to get women through the door if you're physically in shape. What about the life you built for yourself, your family, your friends? What sort of experiences have you extracted from the world? Traveling, other things like that. These are the things that are going to be important to you. So now when I read self-improvement books, I'm looking at them from a point of what sort of leader am I going to be? How am I going to carry myself? Wasting your life, improving your life on one metric is not going to get anything. I look back at some of the things that I focused on and I think to myself, yes, I did get into some sort of shape. Last year when I was taking the gym very, very seriously, counting every single calorie that was going into my body, sometimes having cheat days. But when I look at myself now, did it move the needle forward to become the sort of person I want to be? It taught me about consistency, right? Because I had to have resilience to go through that challenge. But that's what I appreciate about it. The biceps, the size of your body, the weight class. I don't even step on the scale and look at my weight anymore. I used to do it every single day. Wake up in the morning, stand on the scales and look at what my weight is. Right? But at the end of it, when you get to that weight class, you realize actually the journey is what you enjoyed about it. You enjoyed the idea of waking up in the morning, not really wanting to go to the gym, but going anyway. The resilience it was building in you as a person. So I'm going to leave that short, guys, but I want you guys to start looking at your life and thinking to yourself, what exactly is it am I trying to build when I'm watching self-improvement content? Don't waste your life just focusing on little habits that you're trying to build, little metrics, improving your dating life, improving your physique. Yes, these are good in the larger picture, but who do you actually want to become when it's all said and done? You're laying on your deathbed. What do you want to say about yourself? What do you want others to say about you? That's the most important thing, your impact on other people, right? My name's Tino. Leave a comment on what you got from this. What sort of content are you watching right now? What are you optimizing for? Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Let's go.